Demonic.
Yes.
The new film from Neil Blomkamp,
Yes.
who did District 9.
District 9.
And like I was telling you earlier, that was nominated for Best Picture.
I had no idea. I mean,
Totally
it was
got
great.
a Best Picture nod on his first movie right out the gate.
I mean, it felt so fresh and cutting edge when it came out.
At the time, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was just like I feel like no one's ever seen basically an extraterrestrial movie like that before, and it's just like it brought a whole new light of what a South African movie would look like.
Yeah, and sort of framed the whole sci-fi story with an apartheid angle.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, that was great.
Nailed
and
it.
And then Elysium.
Elysium.
You know, he got the rub with District 9. All of a sudden, he's got $200 million and Matt Damon and Jodie Foster
And Jodie Foster, yeah.
to make another sci-fi movie.
Yeah, noted script. I mean, they don't just make anything that comes across their desk. Either they're gonna love it or they're doing it as a favor.
Yeah.
So to have them in there.
No, these are top tier Oscar winners.
Yeah, like right out of the gate.
So you've got both of them in there. And Elysium didn't do too good. But I got to tell you, I revisited it the other night. I think it's great. I think it was a little ahead of its time.
That might be it.
I think had that come out in the last 4 years, I think it would have gotten over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it's got a lot to say about, you know, society and class and how we treat the underprivileged. And I think had that come out during the Trump era, I think folks would have really dug into it.
That was pre-2016.
Yeah.
Where the rules have changed on how that's going to look. So I'm not surprised they would have got over then.
I like what he does. I feel like, you know, for a while there, he was rumored to be taking over Alien, and he was rumored to be taking over Robocop.
Yes, I didn't know about Robocop.
Oh,
I
you
knew
didn't?
about
Oh, man.
Alien. Wow.
Yeah, he was on Robocop for a while and wrote a draft, and he was actually working off of the original Robocop return script that was written by the original writer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So, like, because Robocop got kind of muddled with part 2, which I think, you know, I've got a soft spot for part 2. I know it's definitely not as good, but
yeah,
part 2 got kind of messed up because it was in the middle, at the eve of one of those writer strikes.
Oh, man, that's right.
So they ended up having to ditch the original writers and just go off with their own concept. But anyway, the original Robocop Return script, in that script, the I'll buy that for $1 guy is president.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had no
Robocop,
idea.
they awakened him like 40, 50 years later in the future, and the I'll buy that for $1 guy is president. So, I mean, it was dead on.
Oh, man, that would have been great. And then his next film was Chappie, which I'm a mark for. I'm a mark for Chappie.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was like, what happens if you would have made Johnny Five part of a gang and gave him a gun?
Yeah.
Why won't you sleep? Why won't you sleep? But yeah, that didn't get over very well either.
Again, big star power in it. It had Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
The guy from Slumdog Millionaire, whose name I can't think of right now.
Not Dev Patel, right? No.
Dev Patel, yeah.
Oh, was Dev Patel? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he was the scientist in that.
Oh, that's right.
And then the gangbangers he was with, that was some famous European group. A dire antworm or something like that.
Yep.
Anyway, didn't do too good.
Yep.
I kind of get why folks might not have dug that one. It was a little silly at points. But Blomkamp even went on to say that he thinks that's why he lost the Alien gig, because of Chappie.
Oh, wow. That's a shame. I dug it. But yeah, I can see why some of his stuff. But it did seem like his first one, he hit the typical sophomore slump, even though he had everything kind of going for him.
Yeah.
So
anyway, now we have Demonic.
It fast forwarded to Demonic.
Which is, okay, it's going to have an asterisk. It's a COVID movie.
Yeah.
Something they made during the pandemic.
During mid-2020. I mean, that was like right in the middle of COVID in Canada.
So things were limited as far as what they could do.
Yeah.
And I guess he self-financed this one. He got tired. Man, I wish he would have got that Robocop gig. I think he would have been perfect. But anyway, he got kicked off Robocop. He even wanted to bring back Peter Weller. Anyway. That's never going to happen. He made Demonic, self-financed horror movie. Sounded really up my alley. Religious horror blended with sci-fi.
Always scary, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was like granted, like I even asked you what year was this made, and you're like, no, this is brand new. And I was like, so my expectations were like nil going in. Like I had no idea. So like when they got into the whole concept of just like they found this technology that can basically jump into somebody's consciousness while they're in a coma.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. And then they showed it, and it was just like, it had that video game feel while they were in the consciousness. I was like, oh, wow. The first thing that came to my mind was Dreamscape, right?
Yeah.
With Dennis Quaid. I was like, oh, wow. I was expecting that vibe. And I was like, this is a perfect gimmick, and they kind of set it up of like, you knew that like he used like a certain number of cameras and like, and I was just like,
so apparently what it was called volumetric capture. What they were talking about 260 cameras capturing an image and turning it into a 3D image somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't really see it.
No. I just feel like, the gimmick sounded like I was just like, wow, this is going to be something else. And then like like you said, I didn't see it, I didn't feel it, and I feel like they hardly used it.
I didn't.
It was too expensive.
It was hard to. I think all that stuff when she was in the 3D world was done with this volumetric capture, and it kind of looked like a video game, but I didn't see anything that looked like it couldn't just be captured with a regular camera. Honestly, to me, it looked like a bad stock Adobe effect
It did,
that they threw in on everything.
It was just so. I mean, I guess so. We give the concept of the movie like they have this. This hospital, this mysterious hospital agency gets this daughter to go back to visit her mother's consciousness while she's in a coma, but she had an estranged relationship with her mother.
Yeah.
So they're going to use her to try to talk to her mother, who's basically trapped in her own head.
Yeah.
Right now, under the guise of just like, we have her in this like induced coma, but we want to make sure she's comfortable kind of thing. And just like, but then it gets a little bit more nefarious and just like, cause there was a questionable past and the mom was in jail for like burning people alive.
Right.
And and she was like known to be like a mass murderer kind of thing.
Right. So like, I guess long story short, they think she's possessed by the devil.
Right.
And now the Vatican I like it when the Vatican has a scheme. That's always cool.
I love that the Vatican, like they basically had these, space marines that were actually priests.
Yeah.
Had that feel. It's just like, wow, they're using technology and weapons in their what do you call it, exorcisms.
Right.
They're using like technology and weapons.
Yeah. That was cool. I love that setup.
Yeah.
But so they're sending this woman into her mother's head via virtual reality so that she can communicate, and I guess unknowingly what they're really trying to do is get in contact with this demon or the devil or whoever it is.
Yeah, and just to unlock it, and I don't know, I guess the possession happened at a certain location. So at the same time, once she got into her mom's head, this demonic force attached to her.
Yeah.
And then they were starting to lure her. So basically it was a game of cat and mouse. Can they expel this demon before this demon finds a new host?
Yeah. So so for one thing, I guess to me this feels it just felt different than any of his other films. Okay, I'm okay with that. That was good. I was very curious. I wanted to see, but I feel like the sort of like small productionness of it comes through. It feels like a very small movie, and I think there's a couple of good scares in there, but the moments just don't feel like they're built up well. Some of the script, I swear, some parts it felt like maybe they were just ad-libbing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a scene in there that actually got a laugh that should have got a scare.
Yeah, it got a couple of laughs, and it's a serious thing. Here's the spear of something. We've had it at the Vatican for 1,000 years. It's a very important weapon they're giving to their main character, and it got a straight up laugh.
Inappropriate laugh track there, and I was like, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really recommend it.
No, I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, but then again, it's just like, would I say run out to the theater and get it? And it's just like, I mean, if it's on TV, maybe catch it. But it's like, I don't know if I can recommend spending the cash to go out and get it. But I feel like he's disowned this movie. Like he's not even.
It feels like it. It feels like it. He's not talking about it much while he's doing the press tour. Everyone's just talking about District 10 and the other films that he didn't actually make.
Which is District 10 happening still?
Apparently it's happening, but I don't know. After this one, whoever's investing might be like, I guess there's enough goodwill in that movie to people are going to want to see a sequel. But man, I don't think this one did anything to boost his value there.
I don't know. It wasn't fully fleshed out, and I don't know if that hurt it. Did the performances hurt it? I mean, he didn't have his buddy. How do you say his name? Char Copley.
Chartro Copley. Yeah.
Man, I mean, because when he just chews up the screen when he's on it. Like, was it the performances that kind of hurt it? I don't know.
I think it was the script. I don't think they really thought it out all that well. It didn't have, and there was a lot of just exposition where they're just talking about explaining the entire premise is an ordeal. It's a complicated sci-fi religious premise, so it's hard to get across. So folks are just explaining what's going on. I don't know. Didn't work for me.
Well, you always said it, and that's script writing 101, and it's the opposite of the rule of when you sneeze and, when you're talking in school and you spit, the whole say it, don't spray it. You're supposed to don't say it. You're supposed to spray it.
Right.
You're supposed to actually show it on the screen and not say it. And I did feel like they were saying a lot instead of showing a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that hurt it too.
Yeah.
And it was a limited budget, and he kind of did it fast during COVID. So, I mean, it didn't, like you said, it felt low, but it didn't look like low budget. So I don't know. It didn't feel like it would be at home on our favorite network, Shudder.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel scary enough to be on Shudder.
Yeah.
But you may catch it on Stars or something. I don't know.
Anyway, I would say wait till this hits free streaming, and if you want to see something Neil Blomkamp, go check out Elysium again. I think Elysium is worth another watch.
Yeah, and then sign that the change.org to Robocop Returns.
Yeah.
To get him on there to do it, because I'm sure he was endorsed by Peter Jackson.
I think he could actually nail it.
I think maybe he nailed it.
Yeah.
You have 5 seconds to comply.